We got a really good question from a viewer that we're going to address today, and I think you guys are going to be interested in the response that I'm going to give. Hello, everyone. My name is Derek. Welcome back to the channel. I'm formerly known as DoorDash Dad. Why? Because I used to do DoorDash full-time from 2019 to the summer of 2024 when I decided to do YouTube full-time. And on this channel, we're going to give tips and tricks and advice about how you can create your own YouTube channel and hopefully it lead to success. But I got a comment. Somebody asked me this and I said, you know what? This is perfect content and it's better for me to respond in video format. I'm not really a typer, but I am definitely a talker, this is something you have to be if you're going to have a YouTube channel. This is coming from Sincere Renee. She says, is it necessary to delete past videos when you are trying to pivot and niche down? Thank you for that comment and that question. And my response to that is it necessary to delete past videos? No. Is it necessary that you delete them at all? No. But would I recommend you privating those videos or unlisting those videos? 100%. Let's say if you make content about food, and you grew your channel from making content about food, and then all of a sudden you're going to start talking about cars. You would want to private. I wouldn't delete those videos, so you can always have something to go back and be able to reminisce and have those videos for you always. But what I would recommend that you do is private those videos where only you can watch them, or you make them unlisted where, let's say somebody came and watched them already, they could come back and watch them again. That's not going to do you any harm. They would have to go through their history and be able to find the video that way. The reason I would recommend that is because YouTube is going to reward you for finding an audience. So that's exactly what happened to my live streaming channel. The majority of my 33,000 subscribers are all coming from live streaming. And what those was I would watch the Detroit Lions or an NFL game. They would watch it on their televisions at home, and we would converse in the chat. We called them watch parties. That is where the majority of my viewership and audience came from. So if I start making videos about the NFL, it doesn't hit the same. So what I did is I actually went in. I don't think I privated all my videos because I have over 1,000, but I was in the midst of doing that, just by page, privating everything that wasn't related to what I was trying to do recently, which was to make videos about the NFL. So no more live streaming, but videos. Why do you want to do that? Because you want to give YouTube an audience. I will take I'll show you exactly what I mean, because I actually did that with this channel. I privated or unlisted all of my content that was involving the gig economy because, okay, of course it doesn't want to show up. There we go. Okay, here we go. So I went and I privated all my content. I started off, let me show you what I mean. All right, so formerly known as DoorDash Dad, this was my content, and I started making content. The reason I put DoorDash Dad in my name is because I used to have a channel called DoorDash Dad, and it had over 11,000 subscribers. In June of 2023, no, July 1st, I deleted that channel. It had run its course. It had been 3.5 years. I think the channel was started in February of 2020, right as the pandemic was popping off. It blew up at the end of December 2020, and so I stepped away because I knew that the channel had a shelf life. I didn't want to keep talking about the gig economy even when I wasn't in it. But if I tried to pivot, my audience and most of my subscribers were from DoorDash and gig economy content. And that's another point that I'll address after we talk about this. But I did that with this channel. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go and I'm going to show you my oldest channel. This is my first video back. Did you miss me? DoorDash Dad returns. I started making videos, and these are from May 30th, 2024 was when I did my first video. All my initial stuff was about the gig economy. But I knew when I came back that I wasn't going to be always talking about DoorDash. So I went and I privated. I unlisted all of these. Now they're unlisted because I figured if somebody wanted to watch them, then they could, if they went through their history or bookmarked this or saved it, then they could come back and watch it. That's not necessarily going to hurt my channel. But I don't want, if this is my library, is gig economy and now YouTube, they don't really mesh. So if I have people watching the gig economy content and I have people watching the YouTube content, YouTube is trying to figure out who my audience is. And because I did that, I want to show you what happened to my channel. I knew that was going to happen. I was fully prepared for it to happen. We're going to go into your dashboard, and I want you to find this. Go to audience. You're going to click on audience. You're going to scroll down. This is going to, we talked about this the other day. This is going to show you new versus returning viewers. You're going to scroll down, and on the right-hand side, you're going to see two categories: channels your audience watches and what your audience watches. You can see here, it is nothing there. In 28 days, it says not enough eligible audience data to show this report. That means I don't have an audience. I'm trying to grow my audience. Down here, what your audience watches, the same exact message. Not enough eligible audience data to show this report. I'm going to tell you, and then if you look at my other part here, videos growing your audience. I can tell what pops. What pops is when I talk about Dante London and Dodash. I know that I don't want to talk about them on a consistent basis. Maybe every so often, but that is only, it's only going to be trying to teach people. So I unlisted my videos for the gig economy probably about 2 or 3 months ago, maybe 2 months ago. I went through, I didn't have that many videos to begin with. I had about 20 or so. And if you look at my content now, let's go to content. And we are going to now, you know what, let's go to page. I'm going to pop my page out. Pop my page out. That sounds crazy. So to a viewer, okay, these are my only videos. This is where my content started, right here. YouTube changed my life, which was 4 months ago. So now all of my videos, but you saw from my channel data that I have content on my channel that is about the gig economy. DoorDash, Deliver That, my biggest problem. And I could have kept going, but I knew I didn't want to talk about this forever. But if you go to what you see on my page is this. You see this as my first video. If you go to, let's go up to the top and let's go to oldest video, you're going to see, I could have just done that to begin with. Now you're going to see videos talking about YouTube. And I did that 4 months ago. And so what I went through is I went through every video, and because I didn't want to confuse my audience, therefore confusing the algorithm. Because if you have where you talk about, and that's why it's important that you are niching down. So to answer your comment, Renee, which says, is it necessary to delete past videos when you are trying to pivot and niche down? My response would be, no, it's not necessary to delete, but you should private them. Once you find a niche, and that's why what I would prefer and would suggest that people do, before you start a YouTube channel, think about what you want to talk about. Think about, are you passionate about it? Think about this. If you had to make a video every day, once a week, could you make a video every day, once a week about that particular subject? If the answer is yes, then create a YouTube channel. Go into creating a YouTube channel. And that's why I don't like this bad advice that's being given out. It is horrendous advice. Turn on the camera, start posting. That's great advice to get you going, but you also should have some direction. Because if you're a vlogger, then vlog. If you are a movie review person, then do movie reviews and movie related things. Going to the movies, going to the Sundance Film Festival, whatever you're doing, keep it in that niche. So for instance, I have a channel that I talk strictly Detroit Lions and things that directly or indirectly affect the Detroit Lions. I have another channel that I'm trying to grow. It's going to be more difficult, where I'm talking about the entire NFL. Those are 32 teams. That is the perfect example. I just thought about this. This is the perfect example. I niche down talking specifically about the Detroit Lions. Why do you think I did that? There are 31 other teams in the National Football League with 31 other fan bases. If I make an NFL channel, let's say you are a Detroit Lions fan. You are going to, I don't know, Renee, if you watch football or somebody in your family does, but if you are a Kansas City Chiefs fan, why would you care about what the Detroit Lions are doing? You probably wouldn't. If you're a Detroit Lions fan, why would you care about what the Green Bay Packers are doing? You probably wouldn't. So if I'm doing an NFL channel, I am appealing to the NFL fan, not just the Detroit Lions fan. I am a Detroit Lions fan first and an NFL fan second. I love the National Football League. I know about teams that are not the Detroit Lions, but when you're trying to, in YouTube terms, you are going to try to niche down. So for instance, I have what I like to call a triple niche. I talk about sports. That's niche one. How many sports are they? Tons, right? You got hockey, football, soccer, basketball, baseball, cricket, pickleball. Those are sports. Then you have the fact that I talk about football. So now, all right, so we just chopped out every other sport, and now we know he talks about, this is what YouTube is knowing about my content. We know that he talks football. We know that he talks sports. So that's niche one, niche two. What about sports? What sports? He talks football. Now, what football about what team? The Detroit Lions. I'm not going to talk about the Michigan Panthers or the UFL. I'm going to talk about the Detroit Lions. Why is that important? It's two reasons. One, YouTube knows who to put you in front of as far as to watch your content. So YouTube knows to put my content in front of Detroit Lions fans. That's what they know. If I make a video about the Green Bay Packers, my Detroit Lions fans are not going to care about that. Man, okay. So y'all saw how many channels I got. I didn't know that was on screen, but it's not a big deal. Let me show you why I did that. We're going to go down. Those are, so I have, as you can see, I have no problem making another channel because I learned this a long time ago. So I'm going to go to, and I know you can't see me, which is unfortunate. You can see let me put me back on the screen here. There we go. Now you're now just looking at a comment, and then we'll go here. We will go to YouTube Studio, and I'm going to show you the difference between my triple niche and when you niche down. Now, of course, I didn't private the content because it was from the gate. I've been talking about the Detroit Lions, but how did I learn about that? I learned from trial and error, right? Okay, so this is my Detroit Lions channel. Now, notice the difference here. Channels your audience watches. These are all Sports Talk Detroit, Crunch Time Sports, Motor City Mania, Woolworth Sports, Detroit Dan 313. You see that? That's 5 channels that all talk about either Detroit Lions or Detroit Sports. Lions Talk with Chad Sports, Detroit Lions, the Detroit Lions YouTube channel, St. Brown Brothers podcast. He plays for the Detroit Lions. A film dude, and this guy right here. Then if you go to the third page, they usually give you about 15. Lions Talk Live, Locked On Lions, Dose of Dion, always updated. This is a AI channel, which I hate. And then last, this is a new channel, NFL Insider. So out of the 15 channels that you've seen, 14 of them, those are probably the 14 or the 15 main most channels that my audience watches. Out of those 15 channels, 14 of them primarily talk about the Detroit Lions or Detroit sports. So my recommendation to you would be don't delete the videos. You can private them or leave them unlisted. If somebody have watched the video before, they can come back and watch your video. It's not going to hurt your channel. I would private those, unlist them, and I would start fresh. Start whatever niche that you want to talk about, buckle down in that niche. Don't do it until you're ready to niche down, because you don't want to confuse, because what you're doing is you're confusing the algorithm by confusing your audience. Does that make sense? YouTube needs, the algorithm is your audience. Without an audience, there is no algorithm. You get what I'm saying? If you, to anybody out there that comes across this video, I make a challenge to you. As a matter of fact, do this. I've said this multiple times before. If you create a YouTube channel and you have, let's say you have more than one, you have at least 2 or 3. I want you to do this. Or you're thinking about creating a channel, but you already have one and you want to create a new one. Create that new channel. Don't post any videos on that new channel. Don't share it with anybody. I want you to go to your old account. I want you to type in your exact channel name. And I guarantee you, you will not find it until you make your first video. Your channel essentially does not exist in search until you have a video, because YouTube needs to find you an audience. It's more difficult to do that if you don't have a niche. If you're confusing your audience, you're confusing the algorithm. And as you can see from formerly known as DoorDash Dad, most of my subscriber base is DoorDash or gig-related content. Now, all of a sudden, I pivot. Those 833 people, most of them don't care about this content. They cared about that content. But I decided to do it before it was too late, and I went too deep down the rabbit hole and was unable to really make a difference, right? So that's what, I might have one other thing to show you as well. And this is the perfect example of why I would say do that. All right, so this is my other channel. It's called The Gridiron Blitz, and we're going to go to audience here. We're going to see what this, I haven't checked this in a while. Not enough data because I don't have an audience. All of this used to be live streaming content. It used to be channels that were live streaming. And I want to show you what happened with my channel since I started making content. See this? I made a video 123 days ago. It was a video. You see how many people? It was 7 out of 10 because this is in video ranking, not live streaming ranking. Got 257 views. I have 33,000 subscribers, losing hundreds every month. 33,000. My impression rate was 2.3%. All right. Let me see how many people was this video shown to. It reached 7,000 people. But out of those 7,500 people, only 257 clicked on it. Now, this is a homework assignment for you guys who watched this video up until now. If you've watched to now, put hashtag homework assignment in the comment section. Why do you think that this number is like this? Why do you think that out of 33,000 subscribers and 7,500 impressions, I only got 257? Pause this video, put it in the comment section. Don't cheat. Pause the video, type it in the comment section, and get back with me. Come back to me. All right. Hopefully you did all that. I'm going to tell you why. Because when you make a channel and you have an audience, YouTube is going to do its job, and it's going to put you in front of the people that usually watch your channel. But if those people who watch your channel don't care about that content that you produce, they will not watch that video. Therefore, it will give you 5,700 impressions. And out of those 5,700 impressions, how many people who has the bell on? Let me see. Right here, bell notification. 2,000 people got bell notifications, which means that 2,000 people, views from bell notifications, 16. So out of 33,000 subscribers, only 2,000 of them have the bell notification on, which means when you make a video, you get a push notification. Out of those notifications through click-through rate, 0.8%, which means, and I hope I didn't peak right there, which means that out of those, I feel like I'm too loud now, out of those 2,000, only 16 clicked on it. That should tell you everything you need to know. Got another question from a viewer, and I'll probably make a video about that later. You guys got any questions? Put it in the comments. I'll do my best to answer it. Hopefully that helps, Renee, and keep up the good work.